Time now for sports on SSPTV News.
It's Dave Day on SSPTV News as we welcome back Dave Seaman, the sports editor at the Standard Speaker. Local sports information just flying out of the Standard Speaker as we're at an exciting part of the year, Dave. And this weekend will be the PIAA State Wrestling Team Championships. Hazelton area will be there in AAA. They'll start their week on Thursday, weather permitting, I guess, against Cedar Cliff. And we talked with their head coach, Keith Maurer, about the matchup and how his team is preparing.
It's unfamiliar territory for all these kids, so you got to keep it as normal as possible. So we're kind of doing the same things we've been doing last couple of weeks as far as trying to keep the kids fresh. We don't want to beat them up too much at this time of the year, because we want to make sure that our legs are fresh and when we step out on the mat, we're ready to give 100%. So, but then the up or downside, whatever you want to call it, the other portion of this is a unique experience that these kids are all going to Hershey, going to spend the weekend there. So we got to keep them all level-headed. So there's some preparation that goes on there to make sure that they got their priorities in line.
And Dave, it wasn't without adversity for this Hazelton area team. They lost to Tunkhannock, had to have some things go their way to host that district tournament and to, I guess, get into it as well. But they pull through and they fight through the adversity. And you have some kids who have been there, the Jimmy Hoffmans, I think the Carson Kinneys, who have been to states, but a great experience for the rest of the Cougars.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, you could lean on those guys. I mean, Jimmy Hoffman, obviously, with state runner-up finish last year. Carson Kinney with a great run through the state or district regionals and then the states. It was a great season for both of them. But now it's time for the other guys to step up to get a little bit of taste of it. You got to go in there trying not to be awestruck, but it's human nature where you're going to see the big lights and all the mats are going to be out and all the bleachers around you. It's something you're not used to seeing at a regular season match. So you get into it and put your best foot forward and let the chips fall where they may.
I thought this didn't happen in a while, but Coach said it might have been 2010. Do you remember the last time Cougars made it out the state?
Yeah, they made it in 2010. I believe they were in a preliminary round. I don't know if they made it out of the preliminary round. I can't recall right now, but they did make it in 2010 when you had the LeBuzzes of the world. LeBuzz, Pat LeBuzz was an outstanding wrestler, and Jared Kay. They were the leaders of that group, and another outstanding team. But that's what you need. You need a couple leaders, but you need contributions from a lot of people to do well at states because when you see the teams that come through the wrestling tournament there from the Lehigh Valley and from Western Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania is known for its wrestling, and that's front and center when you get down to Hershey.
And speaking of outstanding teams, how about the Hazelton area basketball team? Dave, you've been covering them, but a busy week for them. And at this point of the season, I guess I don't care who you are, maybe legs are getting tired, and they have a lot of Wyoming Valley Conference games here down the stretch. They come out with a win against Wyoming Valley West, but then they'll take on Nanticoke tonight. You'll be covering that game, and then we'll see Crestwood. But let's start on Wednesday night and then get to Friday.
Yeah, Nanticoke isn't going to be a slouch because Nanticoke can shoot the ball very, very well. They're doing very well in Division II of the Wyoming Valley Conference. They play competitively against a lot of good teams this year. And Cougars are coming off a big win last night over Valley West. Last time they had a big emotional win and playing the next night, it was the win they had against Mount Pleasant in Delaware, and then they played GR the next night. By the third quarter, the Cougars did seem a little bit tired in that game. In this case, though, Nanticoke also played last night. They had a tough game with Berwick. So that kind of evens out a little bit, too. Cougars will be at home. It seems like they haven't been home that very often lately. They were home against Coughlin on Saturday, but there haven't been many home games, really. So now they have a stretch of 3 home games, 3 very, very good home games against Nanticoke, like I said, Crestwood, and then a makeup game against Myers on Sunday.
Finally, Dave, let's get a Super Bowl reaction other than a blank stare. I mean, you picked the Falcons. I think everyone thought it was going to be the Falcons, and then here come the Patriots, one of the most incredible comebacks ever. What will you remember about the game? We were talking with Andy Fisher before this, and I forgot about Julio Jones' catch. You know, that great catch he made. They could have kicked the field goal there. It doesn't happen. Now we're all talking about Julian Edelman.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, when you have a team that is as experienced and as talented as the Patriots, people who have been there before, like Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, they're not going to quit. They're not going to go away. You got to get, when you have the chance to bury them, you bury them. And Falcons had a couple chances earlier in the game to really gain even more separation than they had. I mean, a 25-point lead you would think would be safe, but a team like the Patriots isn't going to die, and kudos to the Patriots.
Best play of the game, Lady Gaga jumping off of the top of the stadium or Julian Edelman's catch?
I'll still take Julian Edelman too. If you're into the halftime show, and she did put on a spectacular show, but that catch Julian Edelman made will be, it'll let Patriot fans forget about David Tyree for at least for another year.
All right. Well, don't forget about Dave Seaman. Read all of his work in the Standard Speaker, and he'll be back here again next week.